Hello and welcome to Contemporary Living. We are so glad that you decided to join us here where we provide lifestyle solutions for everyday people. And I hope your weekend has been well, whether you're celebrating Father's Day, Juneteenth, a birthday like me over the weekend. I hope it has been a great one and it continues to be a great one. So we are just so excited for today. So we're going to hop right in with those housekeeping notes, Andre.
Thank you, babe. How you doing today?
I'm good.
You're looking beautiful as usual.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to wish you a happy birthday since we live online.
Thank you, sweetheart.
We live. Actually, your birthday is Tuesday the 22nd, but we kind of celebrated early this weekend. So I surprised Melissa with a nice birthday party. She thought she was going to go home and get some sleep. Well, that didn't happen.
After being outside for a 2-hour meeting, mind you, a 2-hour meeting outside.
Yes, and it was hot. So needless to say, we had a great time.
Man,
she enjoyed herself, and she was in tears. I wish I had it on camera. But
I'm glad you did. That was the ugly cry, y'all. That was the ugly cry.
Yeah, I should have had that. Could have used it for video footage.
And then I had no makeup on because I didn't know it was a surprise birthday party. I had no makeup on.
Oh yeah, speaking of makeup, I'm glad you brought that up. I can't wait to bring our guest in later today. She's gonna be talking about some makeup and looking good and beautiful and all that great stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get into it. What you got?
All right, so as usual, we're going to get into our housekeeping notes. Like Melissa said, this is Contemporary Living, where we provide lifestyle solutions for everyday people. If you want to get in contact with us, if you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can email us at farminghill@gmail.com. Also, if you're in the Chicagoland area, if you're in the south suburbs, you can catch us each and every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Comcast Television in Northwest Indiana. Also, follow the movement on Contemporary Living. Follow us on Facebook. If you're watching us right now, we are streaming live on Facebook, so you can ask questions and all that great stuff. And then if you're watching us on YouTube right now, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button below, and we will greatly appreciate that. And we thank God for our new family, E360 Television, where we are broadcasting across the globe right now. You can download the E360 app on Roku. If you got Roku, you can download it on Roku. You can use your Apple Fire Stick. If you have an Android phone, you got to download the E360 Fire Stick as well. So we are grateful. We thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in today. And I am so happy. So I'm going to turn it back over to the missus and let her take over from here.
Okay, so one of the things we always want to do is provide you with just up-to-date information, real-time solutions, real-time info. And today I'm going to talk about something that's really serious. So I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Notebook. They really romanticize Alzheimer's, which is what we're just going to be kind of discussing today. But they romanticize it, but Alzheimer's is a serious thing. So imagine if someone that raised you all of a sudden just forgot who you are, your mom, your dad, an aunt, uncle. That's serious. So there's nothing romantic about it, especially when someone has to watch a loved one go through that. So what Alzheimer's is it's a form of dementia. Basically what happens is it's a brain disorder and the cells of the brain just die off. And what you lose memory, you lose thinking, your behavior changes. And it's usually a gradually progressive condition. It's not so much like it just happens, like you get a headache or something like that, but it's things that happen over time. And I think the most popular, thing is people understand that when you lose your memory, that's one of the biggest things that relates to Alzheimer's, but it affects 5.2 million Americans over the age of 65. And then we have thousands that are under the age of 65 who have been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer. And here's the thing, women account for 2/3 of the Americans with Alzheimer's disease. So it really affects us ladies. And then the one good thing about it is how they go about diagnosing it. They rule out every other symptom. So that's why they have up to a 95% accuracy rate in it, because everything else is ruled out. Now, dementia, other forms of dementia are Huntington diseases. So if you've ever heard of that, or Parkinson's. So those are also other forms of dementia. So let's see the next slide. Andre, you don't have my slide?
Yeah, I actually do, but I guess we have technical difficulties at the moment. So
okay, but I can go. Okay, here it is.
There you go.
This is really what I wanted to talk about. There's a new approved Alzheimer treatment, and it's called Aduminicab, and the brand name for it, or the drug name for it, is Adelum. And it's the first drug approved since 2003. So that's nearly 2 decades. Now FDA accelerated, because it's hard to get stuff approved through FDA. It takes years, decades even. FDA accelerated this because of the clinical benefits that it's bringing to patients. So basically, this drug is different from all the other drugs because it attacks the underlying causes of the disease, and in hopes to slow the cognitive decline and not just treat the symptoms that you're having. So everyone's hopeful about this drug. And again, like I said, there haven't been another drug approved in nearly 2 decades. Now what they're fighting with is the price tag, because right now it's upwards of $50,000 a year to have this drug. And I guess Congress is going to try to get that down so we can reach the people who really need it, who can't afford to pay, because drugs are expensive, who can't afford to pay over $50,000 just for one drug. But it makes us hopeful, especially if you have a loved one that suffers from Alzheimer's. And I'm looking forward to maybe bringing you some good news about, how the drug has been with people. So I just wanted you to know that the name of the drug is Aduminicab, and the brand name is Adelum. So that's all I have.
Oh, wow. Thanks for that information, Melissa. Actually, to go talk about the Notebook, that was actually a pretty good movie as well. It's a nice romantic movie, probably one of my favorite movies, definitely my top 10. But also it deals with the issue of Alzheimer's as well. Actually, my grandfather, he's dealing with that now. Has been dealing with it the last few years as well.
Yeah.
So, and then last time I remember we was watching, I think it was some years ago. I think we was watching YouTube, and how overseas they had actually a cure for Alzheimer's. They was talking about how they was unclogging the veins that lead to the brain. Kind of like when people have congested heart failure, when they have heart attacks, the veins to the heart are, clogged up. So hopefully we can find that video one day and share that with our viewers as well. So
absolutely.
Excellent message. Appreciate that. All right, so we're going to move on to what I like to call real estate 101. So we're going to talk about the housing market right now. And I know people are still out there looking for homes and looking for a place to live. As a real estate agent here in the great state of Illinois in the Chicagoland area, just want to give you some information on the housing market. As we know right now, if you're a seller, it's the best time to sell your home because there's a shortage of inventory. But we know that's going to change soon. And the reason why is because the moratorium has lifted. So owners now can go ahead and file for evictions for people that hasn't been paying their rent. I heard the Markham Courthouse was just packed last week. They had lines down the street. So the court systems are back open, and we have a lot of owners out there filing for evictions for tenants that haven't been paying for well over a year. All right. So, but if you want to apply for a house, you still can. First of all, I always tell people before I try to find them anything, have you been approved for a loan? So you want to make sure that you get with a loan officer. I have a lot of loan officers on deck that I deal with. They're some of the best in the game. Also, you want to have, first of all, you want to have any proof of income. Normally they want your last year's tax statement. They ask for that, or this year's tax statement. They kind of look at it and see what's the best route to go. So you definitely want to have proof of income. You want to have your last 30 days of check stubs, your last 3 months of bank statements as well. Also, proof of assets. Some people ask for proof of assets. So if you own a building, or if you own some type of business or vehicles, stuff like that, they look at that as an asset. So sometimes you want to provide that. I don't believe we provided any assets when we purchased our home. Good credit. We do have loan officers out there that can get you approved with a 580 credit score, but 640 is normally the best way to go. And the reason you want a 640 credit score is because you want to see if you could get approved for any type of grant money, at closing. So they got a lot of programs out there right now. I believe I'm gonna have to check into it. Me and my managing broker was talking about it last week. They do have programs that's helping people up to $10,000 with the closing costs. So there's a lot of great programs out there to help you purchase a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. And then also normally right before you close as well, even though you already provided your last 30 days of check stubs, they want to make sure before you even close on your house now, because the new Illinois law is before you close on your house, they want to make sure that you're still working in your job as well. They don't want to, they done approved you for a house. They come there the day of closing and come to find out you ain't got no job no more. So, because the process normally take about 2 months. Yeah. So they want to make sure right before you close and sign the dotted line that you're still working your job.
Right.
So that's just some notes for you guys to write down and put it in the back. Put it somewhere anyway, just write it down and keep that information close by, just to let you know that's what you need to do as far as if you plan on applying for a loan. Okay.
Yeah, because I know that you talk about the housing market is about to open up now that the moratorium has been lifted, and it'll be a great time, I think, to purchase a house, because right now the bids are going crazy and they're always trying to get the, what you call it, highest and best, right?
Yeah, the highest and best. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now. People are walking away. I talked to my managing broker. I'm gonna put them on blast right now, but they purchased a home in Arizona, and they purchased the home. The area they lived in, it had appreciated about 80%. Long story short, they walked away with well over $100,000. That's how the market increased.
Right.
And that was after the fees, the lawyer fees, the broker fees, and stuff like that. So they end up buying something where they had to rehab and fix up. But hey, if you can walk away with over $100,000, and shoot, who's not going to take that deal?
All right. But the buying time is coming. It's near. It's near.
Oh yeah, well, I'm looking for prices definitely to drop. The prices are definitely going to drop because now with all evictions going on, you're going to see more houses back on the market as well. Even the rental market is kind of stagnated right now. It's hard to even find rentals for people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Melissa, and we're going to get ready to bring our guest in. We are excited, and babe, I'll let you handle it from here.
All right, it's my turn. All right. Monica Harris is an esthetician and an entrepreneur. She began her career in 1997 as a makeup artist, and she primarily worked in the bridal industry. She did fashion shows and some freelance work and things like that. But after working with various models and clients, she saw the need to educate them on caring for for their skin, because models, I'm sure they're just throwing makeup on all the time and doing all this other stuff that damages the skin. So basically she decided to expand her career, and she went to esthetician school in 2001. But wait a minute, y'all, this part. In 2004, after she finished her esthetician school, and she had the high maintenance spa in Hyde Park. She opened that initially. But then in 2004, she came up with the wonderful idea and started her own thing called Spa in Your Space Mobile Spa Company. And it's still growing strong. I can't wait to talk to her about it. But wait a minute. Spa in Your Space has been serviced by some major companies: Garnier, Walgreens, ESPN, Tommy Hilfiger, Nike, and Macy's. And wait a minute, that's just to name a few. All right. But with the Spa in Your Space, it afforded her the opportunity to get her own brick and mortar, where she is now in Oak Park, Illinois, Monica's Skincare Boutique. But wait a minute, Andre, there's more. There's always more. Yeah. This girl, I'm telling you, she diva for real. She's doing it. But wait, she wanted to help her clients even more. So she's launched not one, but two skincare lines: the Gen X skincare line and the Monica Harris Clinical Skincare. All right. And also a makeup line. Yes. Monica H Cosmetics. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you, Mrs. Monica Harris.
Monica, welcome.
Monica.
Well, that was quite epic.
Because you are epic, honey. You are epic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So let's get into
we appreciate you for coming on. First of all, we'd like to thank you for just coming on to our show, taking time out your busy schedule. I know you helped us out a couple of years ago when we did the Women Raising the Bar. You came and spoke as well, so we appreciate you for that as well. But you got to break it down to it, brother. What is an esthetician? What do you do? What's the title? Break it down for me.
An esthetician is also known as a skincare therapist. So I do everything that deals with skin. So facials, waxing, makeup, anything that deals with skin. So I specialize in skincare and taking care of your skin.
You know what? That's funny, because the skin is the largest organ. I think don't they say that the largest organ on the body? So do you deal with, it's just not only face, is it like
Well, with estheticians, and I guess specifically in Illinois, we are restricted to a lot of things. So if I am, I can do a back facial, I can do hand treatments and things like that. Just like not massage. So I can do like a body scrub. I can do like, a body treatment, a body wrap or something like that. So as long as it's not like therapeutic type massage services, I can do that.
Yeah.
I am also a licensed nail technician. So
I told y'all.
What don't you do?
She is epic. It is no joke. Monica Harris is epic.
So that kind of expands a lot of what I do as well. So I do nails and manicures and pedicures as well.
Okay, so I want to go back. I know Andre asked you what an esthetician was, but I want to go back to Monica as a little girl or maybe a teenager. And I want to do that because you see people in the beauty and fashion industry, and usually when you, like, I'm watching Halston, the TV series Halston, and Halston, ever since he was a little boy, he would make his mom these different, I think it was like hats or different things like that. So I'm thinking, did you start off like in your makeup, in your mom's heels, or whatever? How did I want to know Monica the little?
You know what the funniest thing is, and that you mentioned that, I never really thought about it. Like my mom, when I was a little girl, like elementary school, she would file my nails and she would paint them. And, people would see me and they were like, look at her nails. So I was always embarrassed because she would like polish my nails and file my nails. And, but I also had a love for Barbie dolls. And I don't know if you remember the big Barbie head. Where
the makeup on and everything.
So yes, I was a big Barbie doll fan. Clothes, the different changes of clothes, and I did love the hair and the makeup. Actually, my sister is a hairstylist, and when we started our business, that kind of made me go into the makeup and skincare side. So.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
So Monica, I gotta ask you, how did your business thrive, or how did the pandemic affect you? If it affected you at all?
Well, it affected me when we were first told that we had to shut down. So, we have the mobile spa, and I have the boutique here in Oak Park. With the mobile spa, we had to completely shut down. Because that generated so much revenue.
Yes,
that was a pretty hard hit for us. So we still haven't really started it back up yet. But with the boutique, I was able to close down, and that kind of pushed me more towards, really stepping up with the retail. So as you know, I was doing like the skincare kits for my clients and things like that, the home facial kits. So that really helped me out a lot because I guess I wasn't too big on pushing retail a lot,
Right.
Ask me, but I really pushed it and I did well. So that really helped a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, just learning how to pivot like that is because a lot of businesses, they had to reinvent or recreate or pivot into another way. Because guess what? Remember, you did my facial consultation.
We did a virtual consultation.
Yep, we did a virtual consultation, and I was able to get my products. The products came immediately. And so, learning how to pivot like that is real important.
Right, and I think with me, I always kind of go into survival mode. So and that's why I always had kind of like the entrepreneurial spirit, because it's like I always got to be making money. What can I do to make some money? So that's even, before this pandemic, I was always thinking of creative ways to make money, or just, I really have a love for this industry. So just implementing different things to help my clients, or what's new, what can I do that's really not, that everyone else isn't doing. So I always try to do something different.
So with your retail, you do most of your shipping and distribution as well?
Man, Andre, during the pandemic, I was at home. I swear I felt like an Amazon warehouse. I invested in one of those printers because, handwriting, I just couldn't do that anymore. So I invested in one of those printers. So all I had to do was print it out, stick the label on there, and give it to the post office. I didn't have to stand in line. I had all kind of bubble wraps, boxes, and things like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't keep the retail at the boutique, so I had to buy like a a shelf at home, like a warehouse shelf. So I had everything all neatly organized and stuff. It was just like a real warehouse.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Amazon, have you thought about even selling your products on Amazon, or you just like the way you have it now?
You know what? I kind of like the way I have it now because it's kind of exclusive.
Okay.
So it's really like exclusive to the clients in the boutique, and it's not really mass produced, so it's not like an Amazon type product. So it's a small batch type of product. So I get it in, I get my batches in and I sell them out. Then I have to re-up and things like that. So I'm not quite prepared for that mass distribution yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we watch a lot of Shark Tank, and we see that that's one of their largest problems. They'll go on Shark Tank, and then if they don't get picked up, it's still popular. So people are still calling, and they've got all these orders they are trying to fill to start that. So yeah, I can understand that. And then keeping it exclusive is really good too.
Right, right.
So where did the entrepreneur spirit come from? It sounded like you were an entrepreneur, your sister entrepreneur. Was your parents?
Probably my dad. The funny thing with my father, may he rest in peace. There was this. Remember I don't know if you guys remember like the livery service, and I tell people I was like the livery service was like the Uber like back in the late 80s.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he was like that too. He always did whatever he did to make extra money besides his 9 to 5. He always had like a little side gig. So that was his side gig. And and my parents just instilled that in us. You just always have money, make sure you're protected, make sure you don't have tough spots. So like when the pandemic happened, I wasn't concerned. Like I said, I kind of probably went into survival mode. Yes. My first thought was, okay, I got to go back to corporate. So,
you didn't want to do that.
Right. So that was like my first thought. But, in the end, I didn't have to do that. I was able to sustain my business. And right now I'm like really busy and, clientels are on a wait list. So I couldn't be more blessed. So.
Right.
And speaking of corporate, I'm sorry, my wife was like, man, he's taking all the questions.
He's taking them all. But it's all in fun. We're just so excited to have you.
Because when you said corporate, and ironically, me and Melissa been running into people that during the pandemic, they had to jump into survival mode. So they started bringing out them gifts and talents that God has given them and started creating their own businesses.
Right.
And so when I look at it from that aspect of it, a lot of them said, look, I don't want to go back to a regular job, even though I don't make as much money as I made then, but I like the freedom. I like being home with my kids. I like being able to travel when I want to travel. And that's a beautiful thing. So when you mention corporate, so you from an entrepreneur standpoint, you know how it is to be out there. And
exactly. Yeah. And, I have been in the insurance industry for like over 17 years. So, I couldn't, although when I decided to leave that world and, be on my own, I left a lot on the table, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, just the freedom, the freedom to, not be tied to a desk or, having to go into an office every day. I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Right. I'm gonna kind of switch it up here because there's so many things we could cover today, but we only have a little bit of time. But I want to go to when you were South Suburban College, where you created and helped to implement a makeup artistry class.
Mm-hmm.
And they used it. My mind is blown because tell me about what did you have to go through? Because it seems like you're dealing with colleges that might be a long, arduous process. Why did you do it? And then tell us about how the process was.
Like I said, I'm always looking at reading material or like, hey, I can do this. So with the South Suburban College, it was the continuing education division. And, I would look through their classes and see what they're offering. And they said, if you wanted to submit a class, submit a curriculum. So I was like, hey, I can do that. People are always asking about makeup lessons and things like that. So I submitted basically a curriculum, just an outline of what the class would entail, the cost that I actually had a huge class. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, I did it for a little while, and then that's when we sort of opened our business in Hyde Park. So I just kind of had to stop doing that. But yeah, and then they kept it on for a little while. So I don't know who was teaching it after that, but yeah, so they kept it on for quite some time.
Oh wow, that's good. I was like, wow, she did the curriculum, she had the class. That's just so that's good. Congratulations on yeah. I told y'all she is the real deal. Monica is not playing.
Do you do any one-on-one mentorships?
Yes. Yeah, I do have a lot of estheticians that are coming out of school. They need a little guidance. So they may call. I'm happy to, provide mentorship or just answer questions. Because a lot of people, they want to jump right into starting their own business when they get out of school. My recommendation may or may not, that may or may not be a good idea. So it just really depends on your work ethic and what kind of business background do you have. I tell a lot of times people open businesses, they have a license, but they have no sense of business skills, what do you need to set up a business, a bank account, things like that, insurance, just
the basics. The basics, yeah.
Right. So a lot of people don't know that. Get an account, file your tax quarterly, things like that. So it's just a lot than just, I got my license, I'm going to start a business. So I do, offer a lot of help with that, when people ask questions.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because even as a realtor, I run into that a lot too. When people start looking for houses to rent or houses to buy, they're like, yeah, I got my own business and I got plenty of money in the bank. But when you get to ask for the business license, the EIN number and all that good stuff, they're like, no, I don't have none of that. Yeah. I said, well, we don't see no paper trail and you ain't filed your taxes and stuff like that, there's nothing we can do for you. And I think a lot of people need to understand owning a business is rewarding in this country. Right. And having that entrepreneur spirit is, it could take you far and you can excel in life being an entrepreneur versus working for somebody else.
Right. And I think that is what a lot of people ran into with the pandemic. A lot of people were saying they couldn't get assistance from the government, the PPP or whatever grants were available. And that's mainly because people didn't have their paperwork in order.
Yeah.
You submit your taxes and things like that. They weren't able to do that. So, it wasn't a bias thing. They just didn't have their paperwork.
Right. And then a lot of those loans they offer forgiveness for as well. So yeah.
Right, exactly. Right.
Like you said, if you have your paperwork in order, then there's nothing they can do for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when we get back, we're gonna take a commercial break. We're gonna talk about this mobile spa because we may need you to ride through. All right. Right. We'll be right back.
All right.
With the lovely Monica Harris.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank our advertisers, and if you would like to have your commercial on our show, or if you would like to be a guest on our show, you can contact us at contemporaryliving22@gmail.com. That's contemporaryliving22@gmail.com.
Thank you, Melissa. And don't forget,
You're
if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and like us on Facebook, Contemporary Living, as well with Farmer and Hill. So we're going to get back to our guest here. We're going to bring her back in, Miss Monica Harris. So Monica, tell us about this mobile spa.
Well, Spa in Your Space is a full service mobile spa. So what that means is we do everything. So we do nail treatments, massage, facials, makeup. We do a lot of different event type services, which includes our oxygen bar and then our fragrance bar. So we do a lot of different experiences. A lot of it is geared towards corporate. That's a lot of the business that we have. So they look for ways to bring in maybe like wellness activities for their employees. So that's how we came up with a lot of different types of experiences, so to speak. I mean, chair massage, pretty standard, facials, facials. I mean, we probably do a lot of unique type services when it comes to facials. You really won't find that facial type service too much anywhere. And of course, nail services as well. So we try to create a lot of different unique experiences and something, usually they're 15-minute services, 25-minute services, or something more luxurious, so to speak. So we can do, if you want more of a retreat type, full body massages, 50-minute facials. We do full-blown luxury pedicures. So we do a lot. So been doing that probably for about 15. I don't even know. So we always say like 17 years, 15 years. I mean, the way it kind of started, I mean, is very interesting. It just kind of started off as an idea, and it grew tremendously. And my husband, he pretty much runs the day-to-day right now. But yeah, it has grown tremendously. So
now, is your mobile spa, is it only limited to corporate, or do you do?
No, we do private events as well. So when we kind of first started out, it was more geared towards brides. So bridal showers, we did a lot of bridal shower type bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
Some of our first parties, we were doing theme parties, like a manicure and martini party. We would actually come out and serve the martinis, and the ladies would get manicures. They would rent out hotel suites and things like that. So that's kind of where we started, and it just grew from there. So, of course, we have private parties. People want to celebrate birthdays, but I would say a lot of bridal showers, things like that, or they want to do something for Mother's Day, even Father's Day. So it's unlimited.
Right. Now, how far out do you travel?
We pretty much travel all throughout Illinois. We do have certain service areas. So we use downtown Chicago, I think 60601 as our starting point, since we don't have an actual location for the mobile spa. And, maybe 35 miles outside of that, we charge a travel fee. Some places are too far. Like, it just really depends. I mean, we have gone to Minnesota, but that was worth the trip, because that was right. So we were there for 2 days. I mean, we have gone to Michigan. So it just really depends on the event, what's entailed, to make sure, it's worth our while, so to speak. Just to be honest, if it's worth our while, we will travel. In those cases, the client is responsible for the travel fee, especially if we're traveling that far.
Oh, wow. So corporate, that's really good. All right, you corporations who are watching, you executive assistants and things like that. Hey, get Monica's Spa in Your Space.
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, now I know you just did, I think, was it Navy Pier that just opened up for their trade show?
Yeah, so they
And you were on NBC with that one, weren't you?
Yeah, I got caught by NBC. Well, the reporter wanted to sit at the oxygen bar. She was intrigued, so she sat at the oxygen bar, and then she said, "Can I come back and interview you?" And it was funny when I saw the footage. I mean, I'm like, she stood there with the microphone for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, but it was maybe like a 2-minute,
Right.
2 minutes.
TV, I mean, it's different when you see how the sausage is made.
Exactly. I was like, that's hilarious. But yeah, so that was exciting because a lot of people saw that. So.
Now, I know that you've traveled to other trade shows. I remember talking to you and Joe about China.
Oh, yes.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that and what you experienced there?
So that was one of our plans. We were going to, before everything shut down, we were going to visit a trade show in every country. So the thing with the Midwest, we're not exposed to a lot of beauty treatments as, even like with California or New York, they're just different from Illinois. So we try to venture out to find, the next best thing. So when we went to the trade show in China, there were a lot of vendors from all over the world. So it was Cosmoprof, and they do it every year. I think they do it in Dubai. We wanted to go to the one in Dubai, but we went to the one in China, which was amazing. So what's funny is we saw a lot of equipment, a lot of products that we saw later at a trade show in Chicago 2 years later. Wow. So that's how advanced everything was. I purchased earlier this year a skin analyzer, and I put it on my vision board. So we had been we saw it in China. That was the first time we saw it. And then a couple of years later, we saw it at a trade show. It was on my vision board, and it was funny. I was like, Joe, look, we got the analyzer. I can take it off the vision board. But, that analyzes the skin, gives you an output of what's going on with your skin. So we saw that in China, a lot of products, things like that still aren't here because they can't find distributors for it. Wow. So one of the things that we saw with the no chip polish, we actually saw one that peeled off. So that's not here yet because they can't find a distributor. So when they have these products, they want you to purchase like massive amounts, amounts of units. So you don't have the buyer for that, because, you don't have the buyer to buy that much product and bring it here to the States, import it here. So
yeah, I was going to say, couldn't all the entrepreneurs get together and then do it doesn't work. You're looking like, I don't know if that's going to work.
Listen, I couldn't even get people to come in and buy a bunch of pedicure slippers.
So
I had to buy like over 500 pedicure slippers myself. But anyway, because a lot of people, they may not see the potential and stuff. And I think that's the difference with us. Yeah. We're always willing to try. We see the potential. This may be good, even with the oxygen bar. Are you guys familiar with that?
No.
I did one before in Vegas.
Right. Yeah. So that's where you see it in Vegas. You
love it.
Right. You really won't see it here. So that was something, we decided to bring here. It's like, this is really different. Let's bring it here. And a lot of people are like, oh, I saw these in Vegas or saw them in Colorado. But yeah, so that's what we try to do. We try to find stuff that's different and bring it here.
I think it's good. What your story just told is you can see how we're all in the United States, but we're all are different. Like you said, on the East Coast and West Coast, they're more so maybe cutting edge because they've got the oceans right there to to get the products there for whatever reason. But I'm so glad and thankful for what you're doing, what you're bringing to the Midwest. That's dope. That is really dope. That's awesome.
It's funny. One of my employees, Jonathan, used to always tell me, Andre, you want to see the future, you got to go to Asia. They're ahead of us.
He wasn't lying.
Yeah, he swore about it too. He loved the Japanese. He said, man, you got to go to Japan. You want to see the future? We behind. So when you mentioned that, how they have a lot of stuff that we don't have as of right now, that's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, and a lot of times, you know, people like I offer oxygen facial. So what that does is that infuses pure oxygen into your skin just to kind of help with the collagen and the elastin, and it actually gives you like
so
really ultra hydration. You're like nice and glowy, and a lot of people like, oh, I never heard of that, you know.
Right, I never heard of it.
Yeah, but in the West Coast, that's a very popular service. A lot of people, a lot of the stars will get an oxygen treatment right before they go on the red carpet. That's how they look, you know, nice and glowing and dewy. So that's still, you know, people are still catching on to that. They love it. We do that at corporate events. Like we'll just do a serum with the oxygen gun, and then they love it. They love how it feels. It feels nice and cool, and put it over makeup and they look like a totally different person.
Oh, wow.
Monica, I gotta ask you, what type of products you got for the brothers? What you got for the men?
Oh, you know what? We have skincare treatments for men. I do sell kits. So a lot of the men are, you know, a lot of men grew beards during the pandemic. So with the facials, I do a beard treatment, but I also have products for men. Now, my products, Gen X, you know, you can use, you know, there's really not a men's product or a women's product. Okay. It's just all in the marketing, you know. So if Melissa buys a skincare kit, you could actually use it. I mean, but sometimes, sometimes some products have a lot of fragrance in it. So you definitely wouldn't want to use anything with like rose, you know. So it just depends. So if it's just a neutral scent to a product, you know, men and women could use it. But now we have the beard oils, beard balms, the combs and the brushes, things to groom the beard and things like that. But cleansers, you know, men like, just as long as they're scented appropriately, moisturizers, you know, trying to get the men into skincare, you know, that is a challenge sometimes. And some men love to take care of their skin. You know, for the most part, men have the most amazing skin, and I don't know.
I know. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. They'll take the body wash and the shampoo and wash their hair and face and body and everything and be perfectly fine. But you know, getting men more into caring for their skin, you know, definitely wearing sunscreen. I do have a few male clients that come monthly for facials, things like that. So yeah, but the skincare it's all in the marketing. So the products that I have, you can use them, but I do have, I do work with another company where I get their beard oils and their beard balms and things like that. You don't have a beard, do you, Andre?
I can't grow one.
Oh, okay.
No, this is it. This is all I get. I wasn't blessed. I can't get none of that.
It's like you got little hair. I tell the men, you know, keep that moisturized underneath there.
Because it's hair. Yeah.
And then if you shave, you know, keep that exfoliated. That kind of prevents the hair bumps and the ingrown hair from forming underneath your skin. So
you know, I want a facial now, babe.
Absolutely.
I want a facial now.
We're gonna go in and get you some.
Okay.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Monica, do y'all do mole removals as well or no?
No, mole removals have to be done in like a med spa, so under a physician's guidance. You know, some estheticians are trained to do that, but me, because I don't work under a physician, I couldn't remove moles. But you know, that's using like a laser sometimes or things like that. So no, I don't do mole removal, unfortunately.
And now I want to know, so I know we've been talking about the skin, but can you give us like a basic routine, no matter what your skin type is? What are some of the basics that they should be doing?
Definitely just cleansing, moisturizing, and sunscreen. The problem today is a lot of people are just overdoing it with skincare. Like I'll have a lot of clients come in, or, you know, new clients that come in and, you know, I'll tell them, what are you using now? So they're using, you know, at least 7 products. Right. I use this cleanser, this enzyme cleanser. I use the salicylic acid toner. I use this retinol serum. And then I use this other acidic type serum, you know. that's why your skin is compromised. You have breakouts. Your skin is extra dry because we're overdoing it. Now, those products are corrective products, and they aren't. And I tell people they aren't meant to use your entire life. You know, you get a retinol until, you know, you use it maybe to kind of clear up your skin, even out your skin tone, and then you just basic cleansing and moisturizing and sunscreen. You know, you can use a toner if you just want to freshen up your skin or add a little hydration. But other than that, you know, keeping it simple is what we have to do.
Okay. So what about, can you just touch on like the Gen X skincare, which I like Gen X, because you don't hear a lot about, we're all Gen Xers that are on this show tonight. And you don't hear, we're not doing, we haven't, it's like we are just a blank.
Right.
X. Right. And so the Gen X skincare and the Monica Harris clinical skincare. So tell us a little bit more about that, and you know what makes your products stand out.
Right. So the Gen X, you know, geared towards us. You know, anybody can use them, but it's geared towards us because I guess we're that forgotten generation.
Yeah.
But we also like to keep things simple. So with Gen X, you have your botanical cleanser, which is a chamomile cleanser. So you can use it daily. You have a toner, a botanical toner, and then you have a moisturizer. So those are your basic daily skincare routine. It's all natural, no harsh chemicals. So, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about breakouts or anything like that. So that's a great line to use every day. Andre can use it too.
Okay.
And then the clinical line. So that's going to include more corrective items. So with the cleanser, the cucumber cleanser, what I tell people, if you have acne prone skin, the cucumber cleanser is good because it has willow bark in it. So willow bark, and I'm not sure if you ever dealt with acne, a lot of people will tell you to use salicylic acid. So willow bark is a natural form of salicylic acid. So it will help prevent the breakouts and things like that. Just kind of keep your skin free of oil. So that's more of the clinical line. So like you have a vitamin C serum, a vitamin A, which is like a retinol serum, and then your daily moisturizer. So that's going to be more of your corrective type product. So if you're dealing with dark marks, anti-aging, you know, wrinkles and things like that. So that's going to be more of your corrective anti-aging line. So you can incorporate those products into, you know, if you just want to use the cleanser and your moisturizer, you can do that. So you don't have to be married to one line. You can mix it and you can mix and match a line, and you can do that with anything. So if you have a favorite product you like to use and you want to incorporate one of my cleansers or whatever, you can do that. So I think a lot of companies kind of tell you have to use the entire line, but that's not always the case. So, but yeah, so those are the differences between those lines. And again, you're not having a lot of harsh chemicals that are going to strip your skin from natural oils and things like that. That's why the cleanser, you know, people with acne, I'm like, well, use this. Let's get off the benzoyl peroxide. Let's get off the salicylic acid, and let's try willow bark, you know, and then that actually helps, you know, prevents the breakouts.
Oh, so it's more organic than than the other things that you mentioned. That's awesome.
So before we get ready to wrap things up, I got to ask you.
We got to go.
Yeah, I know. Right? I told you the time was quick.
Bring up Monica H Cosmetics, which she has an entire cosmetic line.
Right. So, but I got to ask you, because I asked all our guests this. Where do you see yourself within the next 5 to 10 years?
Ooh, let's see. You know, with the mobile spa. So we want to get to a point where, you know, we have a younger generation of people just kind of coming in. While, you know, we sit back and, you know, we're at home, we're relaxing on the beach. We want to basically create a well-oiled machine where it kind of runs on its own. And we can hire people to, you know, run things for us. You know, we have to get to a point in our lives where we have to let go and stop running around. So that's kind of where we're focusing. We have some other projects coming up, you know, for, you know, that are going to set us up for the future where, you know, we are relaxing and we're traveling, you know, things are running themselves. So that's kind of what we're geared towards for the next few years. And, you know, where we're hiring our family to just kind of take over. So We want to set it up where we don't have to be present all the time.
It sounds like you set up some generational wealth there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So I gotta so tell our viewers, how can they contact you?
Well, you can contact, if you're interested in coming to the boutique, it's mhskincare.com. You can make appointments online, or you can call or email or text. All the information is on the website. If you're interested in the skincare line, that's on the mhskincare.com. The makeup line, which we're probably going to have a launch party in August, but products are available at Monica H Cosmetics. And just want to say, it's not just a makeup line, it's a community. So we actually have a Facebook group, not a Facebook group, a private group on the website where we're going to do tips and makeup, tutorials and things like that, just to kind of help people. And then Spa in Your Space, if you're interested in the mobile spa, spainyourspace.com.
Oh, nice. We appreciate you.
This has been a blessing, such a total blessing just to have you here.
Hey, we
in our space.
We have quite an audience. We got people in here, but people quiet this week. Yeah. So that means you was able to answer everybody's question, because nobody had a question today, surprisingly.
Usually people skincare questions, and I know people have been suffering from dealing with the mask and things like that. So it's a lot going on that we're dealing with right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I'm here.
I'll say that again. I'm sorry to hear you.
No, I just said, but I'm here to help.
So we definitely appreciate you for stopping by. Keep us posted on your upcoming events, and let us know how we can help you guys as well. And we just love what you guys are doing. We love the wealth and the prosperity that God has blessed you guys with, and I definitely like the wealth building for you and your family as well, because me and Melissa, we believe in entrepreneurship, especially when it comes to the Black family as well. So we thank God for you and your husband, and the other along the industry that you're in is a multi-billion-dollar industry as well. So we appreciate it. Melissa, you got something you want to say?
Like I said, someone said great interview. Thanks, Bria. It was a great interview. I told you guys, Monica is the real deal. Go online, go look her stuff up. She is the real deal. It's just been a blessing to have you, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you so much. You have a good night.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was a great interview, babe.
That was excellent. Oh, I'm so glad she had the time to do that. I feel real good about this interview, because she shared a lot.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
a lot of great information for us to take in, and I learned a lot today. And we definitely got to book our appointments as well. I definitely want to go and get something done to the skin.
Oh, hopefully we won't be on the wait list.
Yeah. Right.
But you know what? It's a blessing when you can have something called a wait list. That means so many people are after your product and your services that that means you gotta hire more people.
Well, you know what? It's a blessing to have entrepreneurs as well.
Man, yeah. The lesson she taught on entrepreneurship, man, that was great.
All right, so as we get ready to close out, as always, we thank God for His unmerited, undeserved favor called grace. For grace is the total absence of any works. You can't work for grace. You can't buy grace. You can't sell it. It is simply what God has given to each and every one of us, because we believe Christ died for our sins. He was buried, and He rose again the third day for our justification. On behalf of myself, my lovely wife, Melissa, and Contemporary Living, be blessed.
Bye-bye.